A's faithful. Welcome in. I am Amos, General Manager of the Oakland Athletics and MLB The Show. Welcome. The Oakland Athletics update for May 2022 in MLB The Show. Don't get it confused. Down below, you can see that is not a copy-paste. We had the same exact record in May as we did in April. We went 13-15 in May. Kind of crazy. We should have done a lot better, but when we've lost 8 out of our last 10, kind of 8 of our last 11 in a way, including a 7-game losing streak, that kind of kills the record a little bit. So we had the opportunity to be above 500 for the month of May. However, slumps happen, and unfortunately, this one's just a ridiculous slump that we're in right now. And as you can see down below that, those are the games by division that's coming up in June, which is where we're in now. We have 9 against the AL East. Pretty much the Red Sox and Yankees of what we'll be seeing. The AL Central, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians and the Kansas City Royals. 4 against our, interdivision foes against the Seattle Mariners. 1 3-game series and one game on the 30th of June, which is kind of splits the series up. So 4 there. And then randomly 2 against the Atlanta Braves of the National League East, which as of right now, if the scheduling stays relevant, we're looking at Caprillion and Irvin for those 2 games. So, could have been better, but let's go take a look at the standings here. I'm going to have to hit a few buttons. Excuse me. All right, so here's the standings going into June 1st. And as you can see, the Astros are still in front. They're still getting better. We just saw a game against them. That episode was uploaded today. Some drama in Oakland is what it was called. Very good team. I can see why they're winning. Mariners have turned it up a notch, going 8-2 in their last 10. They're back above 500 as they are 28-27. And then there we are in third place. And as you can see there, 2-8 in our last 10, and like I said, just hasn't been a good month for us. The offense has been stuttering. The bullpen's really is what's been killing us in a way, except for one guy, and we'll get to him later. But, and the Rangers and Angels, they're still kind of just squabbling down there. They're just like us. They can't really get it together. I think the Angels have no excuse to not get it together, but let's just not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? But that's your standings. Compare it to last month's if you wish. It's pretty much the same. We did drop a spot as we were in second place at the end of April. Third place now. Nothing to talk about in free agency. We really didn't make any free agent moves, so nothing to really address there. So that'll make the episode a little bit shorter. So if you're happy about that, thank you for being happy about that. Now let's look at the rotation here. Just a copy-paste picture. Things are slightly different. The overalls haven't really changed when it comes to the rotation. Cole Irvin is now a 76 overall. Still see potential guy. So we'll see how long that his, how high his overall will go. And then, of course, Brent Honeywell Jr. is now a 69. Nice. Overall, B potential player. So he's actually developed nicely over the month, going from a C potential to a B potential. Could he reach an A potential? I'm not going to get my hopes up, but he's trending upward. Hopefully, despite him having a 2-4 record, he does have a sub-3 ERA. He's still upswinging. I still think I have a lot of faith in this guy. He's receiving a lot of intensive training from our pitching coaches to work on runners on base. It seems like where he struggles, his command kind of falls off. We're going to see how the coaches do with that scenario. And of course, Kim in our 5th rotation spot, he's doing exactly what we need to do. He's 1-2 with a 2.8 ERA. Despite the record, I think he's been pitching very well. His problem has been pitching deep into games, rarely going over 5 innings. But to be honest, he's done a very good job, and I'm very happy with the signing that he's done. Montas and Caprillion, not much to address here. Those 2 guys are still getting it done at a 4-3 and 3-3 record, both under a 2.8 ERA. They're looking good. And, very interesting to see what we do with Montas as the trading deadline gets closer. So, stay with us. Will he go? Who knows? Who knows? You will find out when I find out. Um, so yeah, that's all. Some people have had a person ask me, why don't you talk about the bullpen? Let me sum up the bullpen. Pretty bad, except for a couple of clutch people. Even Trevino has struggled. I think in the next update, I'll try to throw in a bullpen screen so I can give a proper update. But just to sum it up, the bullpen hasn't been very good. Like I said in the previous slide, they are a majority of the reason that we did lose the games. The starting pitching has been phenomenal, to say the least, and the bullpen is not, except for a couple guys. Even Lou Trevino, his ERA has exploded from a sub 1 to over a 4 ERA. So just gotta look at that bullpen. Maybe next month I'll try to throw in a bullpen slide so I can be a little more detailed as we try to figure out this complicated puzzle known as the Oakland Athletics. Let's go look at our lineups. Okay. Let's group this all in one thing, in one category. The struggle is real. Nice to have Elvis Andrus back from the injury list. He's been doing all right. Logan Davidson is not my DH. This was just a screen cap when the show decided to just randomly do my lineups again. Tony Kemp still doing very solid. Preferably at the leadoff spot, maybe number 2 hitter. Ramon Laureano, he's starting to find his bat. He's crossed double digit in home runs, as I believe he's got 11. Sorry, he's got 11 home runs, according to my own notes here. He's got 11 home runs, and that's kind of what we're expecting out of Ramon, maybe 20, 25 if we're lucky when it comes to him. Defense is still good. Seth Brown, according to his statistics from last season, he's literally right on pace to have kind of an equal season. He's also at 11 home runs. He had 20 home runs last season, but we'll see if he can keep pace with that. He's not really a high average hitter, hitting 225 going into June, but it could change. He's still a very good hitter at 89 years old. Chad Pinder, of course, kind of just our utility guy. Sometimes he plays shortstop, sometimes he's on the bench. We've been getting Elvis a lot more playing time at shortstop. Pinder, though, has been very good at DH. So chances are, facing lefties, we're going to put him at DH. Well, John Murphy, nothing on offense. Sub 200 hitting. Phenomenal defense. Only 2 runners have not been thrown out by him this year. He has thrown everyone else out. He's been the golden standard of defense when it comes to catchers in the franchise. He's done very, very well. The sad thing is he is starting to lose overall, and that concerns me about what we're going to do with him, whether that hurts his trade value or hurts his role with the team going into the future. But he didn't lose much of an overall. He was an 82. Now he's an 81. So not a big slide, but definitely not what you want to see. Stephen Vogt, guy that had a wonderful walk-off in a couple of episodes ago, has been doing pretty good. Not all-star worthy by any stretch, but given the guy's 37 years old and he's not an everyday player, he's kind of been forced to be an everyday player playing first base with Brown moving over to left field after the injury of McKinney. So Stephen Vogt filling in quite nicely at first base, doing exactly what I need him to do. And Christian Pache still looking for that swing, only 227 batting average, going into June. Doesn't have the contact. He's been showing some muscle, though, having 8 home runs going into June. That's good for him. His overalls are going up, so he's not going to stay a 71 for much longer. He's probably going to be a 75, possibly by the end of the season, if not going into September, if this all continues to proceed. Bench players, Piscotty, Noisy, these 2 guys are very good still. Piscotty had... not much to really talk about those 2 guys. Noisy's been playing some okay defense, had a few mental mishaps in the last game against the Astros, but hey, it's going to happen. Look forward to it. Mickey McDonald, very good contact guy, no power, pretty good defense playing in right field, majority in right field. He's been our leadoff hitter or hitting number 2. Even got a couple stolen bases to the name, so the D overall guy. That's 58 overall. You can see it right there. That 58 overall. Pretty solid. I mean, he's an okay player. I like Mickey McDonald. He definitely has a place on this team. Don't know for how long, but as of right now, he is on this team. Jeremy Ironman, a guy that's shown to be no all power and no contact, hitting 197 going into June, playing third base. He's been kind of taking a lot of backseat to Sheldon Noisy, playing third, even though it says Elvis Andrus on this screen. Once again, don't pay attention to the positions on this screen. Just pay attention to the name and possibly the overalls. Austin Allen, nice backup catcher. He's been doing his job when Murphy needs the day off. So going into June, let's hope we can find some more offense or we can get some help for this offense. It's just hard to say, but you will find out when I do. Injury update. Here we go. Here is the injury update. There are 2 new injuries on this list from compared to last month. Let's just give the an update on. Let's tell you the new ones first. First off, Adam Aller, starting pitcher in AAA. We had him up at the beginning of the year. Didn't do very well. Sent him down to AAA. Still struggling a little bit, but not as bad as he was in the majors. So right now he looks like a glorified AAA pitcher. Unfortunately, he suffered a shoulder tear. He will be out for 2 to 3 months, and as you can see there, he's got 54 days left. So this injury literally happened, I think, like last week. So hasn't been on the IL long, but we're going to see what happens with him by the end of the year if he can come back strong. And the big one is that injury right in the middle of the list there. Gabriel Maciel, a AAA outfielder, B potential guy, tore his Achilles tendon. Now, you can only put him on the 60-day IL. Could be out for over 6 months. So it would depend on the recovery process for him, which is a shame because he had a proximity-like place on this team in the near future. But with this tendon, tearing his Achilles tendon is definitely going to set him back. 23 years old, still plenty of time. I believe he's a 69 overall going into the injury. But we'll see if he's going to be out for exactly 6 months, over 6 months, or heck, it could be even under 6 months. But that's a big hit. That's a big hit in more ways than one. And then, of course, the 3 guys on here, no new updates. Billy McKinney with a broken shin will be back in about a month. Max Scharman, fractured shin. He's got about a month left before he comes back. He was hitting over 316 when he got his injury, so that is a momentum killer for the prospect. See, he's a D prospect, not really a place on the team, but he's been killing it in AAA, and I know AAA's team has been suffering with these huge injuries that they've had. And of course, Tyler Soderstrom, the catcher, cartilage damage. He's got just a little over a month left before he comes back. Pretty good catcher. I'm hoping that this doesn't affect his overall growth when he comes back. So keeping your fingers crossed there. I'm keeping my fingers crossed there because he is a major catching prospect for the future of this team. So I'm going to do one more thing here. I do my top 3 players of the month. Now, these are my preferred players of the month. I just have my own personal guidelines for what makes this list. You may disagree, and that's perfectly fine. Please feel free to comment below who your top 3 players are. So here we go. Let's start at number 3. We're going to make this quick. We're over time. Sorry, I try to keep these at 10 minutes, but I love talking about it. So number 3, Austin Allen. He has been a pretty solid piece with Sean Murphy struggling at the dish. Austin Allen's had a couple more starts recently because Murphy has just been very tired. He was scratched from a game because of soreness. And Austin Allen, given that Sean Murphy could possibly be traded at the deadline, could he be that fill-in catcher until the prospects are ready? I think so. Only 50 at bats, but he is hitting close to 300. So we're going to see what the 28-year-old backup catcher can do, as we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of him as the season progresses. So he's my bronze medal when it comes to top 3 players. Number 2, Elvis Andrus. It's so nice to have him back off the injury list. Not a lot of power. He has hit some clutch hits since coming back from the injury list. And of course, if you've been watching the streams, you've been watching the YouTube videos, he's been playing absolutely great defense. I love the defense that he's been pulling off for this team since he's been back. He's increased our defensive rankings just by him being here. And yes, they're truly as great as I'm making it out to be. Now, he is also a trade chip. Could he be here past the trade deadline? He's in a contract year at $15 million. So for this A's team, that's a lot of money. That's borderline Clayton Kershaw money when it comes to the A's. But he's been really good, and it's so nice to have that hole filled. Hopefully he won't get injured again. So keep it up, Elvis. Love having you back. And my number one player of the month, Austin Pruitt. A reliever that, let's be honest, not everyone knows who this is. Came from the Astros. He's been a guy that started off in AAA. We called him up about 2 or 3 weeks into the season, and he's been phenomenal. He's been absolutely great. Let me go pull his stats up real quick. He's played in 15 games. He's 2-0. He's got a .51 ERA, 17 and 2/3 innings pitched. So let's just round it up to 18 innings. He's given up 1 run in 18 innings, and that was a solo shot. He's walked only 5 batters. He struck out 13. 32 years old, see potential, currently a 70 overall. Austin Pruitt has been the best player in our bullpen. He's been the best guy. And he's really turned it up since being called up from AAA. I don't know what else to say about the guy. He's also got 3 holds to tack onto it. What else could we say? The whip is .79. He's done pretty good. He's hit 1 batter, which sucks. His K per 9 is 6.62 Ks per 9, which is above what he was at last year. Let's see, how many games did he play last year? Yeah, he didn't play a lot of games. He hasn't played a lot of games at all, really. The most was in 2017 when he played 30. So he's already halfway there, and we're only in June. So he could possibly easily break that. And it could be a career year for Pruitt, which is good because he's got 2 years of team control left at 32 years old. Unless something absolutely happens, I look forward to seeing Pruitt on the team next year. So Pruitt is my number one. Once again, that's my top 3. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to comment, like, check me out on twitch.tv/IamFamousAmus. That will be down below. Follow me on Twitter at FamousAmusGuy. I appreciate all the support, the comments, whether you've been on Twitch, YouTube. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. So if you like franchise content, give me a follow, man. Subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you, meeting you. And, yeah, this has gone on long enough. I'll see you guys at the O.co. Be loyal, A's faithful. Goodbye.